coach of Kids Cakes from the Port Harcourt. Okay, my name is Kids Edith Samasi, your coach of Kids Cakes from the Port Harcourt. Okay, welcome to our online advanced class. We're going to be teaching you how to do your handbag cake because of today's class. Okay, so here we have our corn flour. We have our black fondant. We're going to be doing a black handbag. Okay, we have our black fondant. We have our blue. We're going to be using it while decorating the cake. I want to do like a muffler on the bag. Okay, we are rolling pin, our water, smoothener, our boards, our cake pan. This is our crisp scoop. We're going to be using it too. Our serrated knife to trim. Okay, our measuring tape. Then we're also going to be using wire gauge. I'm going to show it to you when I'm using it. That's for the hand of our cakes. Okay, all right. Okay, so it's time to trim. Now, you'll be surprised that this cake is already trimmed, like leveled and composted. I actually use this for the traditional, the online traditional wedding cake, okay, class. So I just pull the fondant out. So I'm still going to make use of this same cake, okay, for our handbag. Your cake does not come out like this when you bake. So this one is already trimmed, okay. So I'm going to use this. So this is what you want to do your handbag. Now, our handbag shape comes like this. We have different sizes that has a tiny top. It comes like this. Some come like this. Some like this. Some straight. So it depends on the bag you want to do. Okay, that's how you're going to carve. Or that's what will determine the pattern of what you're going to carve. Okay, all right. So now when you want to cut, now okay, let me separate each. Let me see if I can separate each. Let me gently separate each. Okay. All right. So now you see. Okay, good. Now when you're doing a cake that the top is thin, like the top is thinner than the under, like it's coming like this, like this, it means the down should be wider than the top because we're still going to trim. Okay, so now this cake is now this cake is 9-inch wide. Okay, so 9-inch wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this please actually stains from the fondant that we used in covering it before for the traditional cake. That's why it has some blue stains on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 over, no, I'm going to do so I'm going to do 5.5 over 3 and a half for some. I'm going to do 5 over 4 for some. Do you understand? Now what I'm going to do that is because when I do 5.5 over 3, it means the 5.5 should be the first I'm going to put on the board. Okay, then the next will follow by the 5, the next will follow by the 4. Do you understand? So when I'm arranging, you will see it. So now I said 5 over 3.5. So I'm just going to take my serrated knife. Now this is, you see, 5.5, over 3.5. So I'm going to cut this one here, just marking it first. Okay. So now this one I'm going to still do same 5.5 over 3.5. Or I can do 5 over 3.5. Okay. I'm just marking. So yeah, I'm going to do 5 over 4. Okay, so I'm just going to cut, okay? So when I'm done cutting, I'll come back. Okay, so you see we're done. Now, this is the 5.5. This is 5.5. This is 4. Okay? This is 5.5. This is 5.5. This is 5-inch wide. Okay? Now, this is 4. This is 3.5. Okay? And this is 3.5. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. You start with the 5.5 because it's wider. 5.5 again. Okay? Now you start with you put the 5. You see? Actually arranging. See it? Next I'm going to put the 4. See? Now I'm going to put the 3.5 again. So you see we have a tinier up, wider down. So now I'll just need to trim. So before trimming, I'm going to do the cake on 2 sides, here and here, so that it doesn't shake or fall off while I'm trimming. Okay? Alright. Okay, so you see I want to do it like I said. So I'm just going to bring it out and trim. You don't trim exactly where it's stopping, okay? So you see where it's stopping, I won't trim here. You see? So I'm going to trim from here. That doesn't talk out while I'm carving. Okay, so next I want to carve. This is how you carve. Remember we are doing like a cone shape or a tiny up. I'm trimming the other parts. You notice I'm really not trimming much from the down, just the top, okay? So I'm going to just trim the side. Do same for this side. Just trying to check, be very sure it's straight and well trimmed so that when you're done covering, you don't notice that or you don't see some flaws on it, okay? When you're done covering, it comes out perfectly well. Okay, now you see there are some, they'll cut here, maybe create a dent or create a part here. Just trim like this, okay, for you to go inside. That's the way we did our picnic. But you see some, now if you take note of our bags, okay, most times when it's loaded with things, this place they poke, there's a way they poke out as if you have something there, okay? So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to show you how to achieve that. If you check my bag, you go to my page, you see my cakes, the handbags I've done. You see I have them in most of my bag cakes. It makes it looks real and beautiful, okay? So we're going to make use of fondant to create that before covering, okay? Alright, so that's that. Remember I told you I was going to show you how to do this part on both sides. So when you cover, it looks real like a real bag. You see there's something there, okay? It gives you that position you have in your handbag, okay? So this is what you do. Now you can use the same black fondant, okay? But I can use this one too, or you can use any other color that you have. If you have excess fondant, that same color you want to use for the bag, just use it. So this is what you cut, you roll like sausage. So it depends on where you want it to start. You want it to start from here and touch under, or just to be here. You understand? So it depends on what you want. So you put one. Okay, so I'm going to do same for the other side, okay? Alright, you see I'm done doing both sides, okay? So now it's time to cover our cake. Now first of all, you can decide to start covering this side, okay? Or start by covering here, okay? Now it all depends on what you're doing too. Now there are some designs, if it's something that the mat has to be open. Like you want to put something in, so maybe put them wrapper inside. Now you have to cover here first, okay? And cover here. And secondly, you want bags like that. It's not bags that are having these shapes. Usually bags that are having a four corner shape. Okay, that's what you do here first and here, because you're going to have the bag open, like having a bag that is not locked with clothes or whatever it is inside. Okay, show you. That's what. So this one we're going to be covering, like after covering, we'll have a handle like crossing over, you know. So that's why I'm going to cover here first, here, then here. Okay, so now let's start with both sides. Now we're going to make use of black fondant. We're going to make use of our mat. This fondant mats to put designs. You have different kinds. You have bigger, smaller. So anyway, you have mold. So is the mat. Okay, you can use this on your board. So I'm just going to roll, okay, and knead. When I'm done, I'll get back. We're done rolling, okay, what we actually want. Now, actually, I measured. Remember, I told you always measure your cake. The width is 6, okay, almost 6, 5.5. And this one is 9.5. So we have, you see, 10. We have, you see, 6. Okay, fine. I told you we're going to be using. I did same for this. Okay, these are for both sides. And I told you we're going to be making use of mats. Okay. Now, when you're making use of mat, you can as well just put your corn flour, you put and press your rolling pin. It comes out beautiful. But I only do that when I'm going to paint a part of it. Now I'm not going to paint any part of this black, okay? And this is where, now you see, I'm flipping over. This is my main part that will show. This is my main part that will show, okay? So this is where I'm going to stick to my fondant. So I'm not putting any vegetable shortening here. I'm going to put here. So this is what you do. You can also use your vegetable oil. You just use something that will make your mats not to stick to it. Okay? So this is how it looks like. So just use my pin and press. Remember to make your fondant. Remember your fondant has to be thick, sorry. So you see, this is what we have. See how beautiful it is? Okay? So I'm going to put this. So you see, so when I'm done putting this, I'll do this and put the other side. Okay? Okay, now see, when putting this, please remember to use to rub water on your fondant, else it will not stick. Okay, where you have fondant, not on your cake, else that place won't stick. So you just rub water around the fondant. So you pick and you put. You see how thick my fondant is? Your fondant should be thick. And when you put, okay, this is what you do. You see these parts, make sure you're creating it with your hands. You see it? Make sure you're creating it with your hands. See it? So you see what we have here? Just take your smoother gently. You can as well use your hands. So you just get your blade. You trim this out. Okay. We'll do the same for this side. I'm going to use my cake as my guide. Okay, so that's that. So you see, we have So you see, done with this side. So I'm going to be doing the same here. Okay, when I'm done, I'll come back to show you how I'm going to cover this place. Now you see, I'm done with both sides. You see here and here, this is what we have. Okay, so I've rolled out to cover this part. Do you understand? So you have to measure, like I said. I measured. So you see, I have 8.5. Okay, sorry. Now I also have, you see, 20. Okay, so here we have 9. Here we have 23. So we have SS. And remember, I told you, anytime you want to put, make sure you use your brush. Okay, you apply your water gently on your fondant so that the one you're putting sticks very well without pulling out or falling out. Little water, but enough, sorry, to stick your fondant. Okay, so what you just do is carry. That's why it's good to work with a good fondant, very pliable one. Okay. So you take your pizza cutter and you trim out. Okay. So you check for excess fondant. You use your blade. If you have excess, you just neatly trim out. Always be careful when working with your blade. Be careful so you don't cut. Okay, now there's something I love doing. When I'm done, I can leave it like this anyways, it's okay. I'll just move it a little. I use my crimper. You see, some people call it pincher. Get it from your cake shops. And gently crimp together. Make sure they are seeing it. Are you close enough? So I'm going to do this round, okay? So when I'm done, I'll come back. Okay, so you see, this is what we have. You see, we're done. These are fronts. These are back. So this is what we have. See, I'll start using the crimper. See, to lock it. Okay, now see, look at what I did. This is your fondant. So you just roll out. I'm going to show you how I did it. So this was going to be here. Okay. Now, I'm going to use either skewer or okay, I'm going to use skewer. Okay, or this, you see skewer, right? Okay, I can use this or skewer, you know, to create that lines, those stitching line. You get? Okay, I'm going to do that. So let me just show you how I did this. Remember, I've not gummed it. It's sticky because one, you know, I used the Crisco to roll it. Okay, so I just rolled normal. I didn't use any templates. You can use your idea. You need to just check what you want. When you cut, it's better you cut bit by bit. If it's too big, you bring it back, you cut again. Okay, now I sized it to be very sure. Okay, it's as wide as what I want. I just took my skewer. This one might not be so straight, but I just want to show you how I did it. Okay, so I just did like this. it same for this. I love teaching freehand. You don't need to get so many templates. So you see, this is what I did. So this shows that my size is bigger. And so this is how you do. You can do anything. If you want to leave it straight, sorry, it's not so straight, but straight. The choice is going to be longer. So it depends on what you're creating, what you're following. Okay? Alright, so now this is what I'm going to do. Like I told you, just make sure you fix it well. Be very sure this is how you want it. Okay? Then you stick with water. Okay, I'm going to stick with water, but for now, I think I was going to create that stitching. So look at what I'm doing. Just print. But please make sure you follow the line. So you see, this I'm going to do. I'm going to press all around. Okay, when I'm done, I'll come back. Okay, so you see, we want to do the handle. Look at what we have here. You see, it's just a normal black fondant, but you add more CMC to the particular one you want to use. Okay, so you see, I've put my my wire gauge. I told you we're going to make it a wire gauge. This is it. Comes in packs like this. Some shops usually sell single wire gauge or double. It depends on what you want. You want to buy 2 or 1, but it's best you buy a pack. It's cheaper. It comes in different sizes. So you have gauge 18. This is gauge 18. Gauge 18 is stronger than gauge 20. While gauge 20 is stronger than 22. So that's how it goes. Okay. The higher the number, the thinner it is. The lower the number, the thicker it is. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is, you have a different color also in white. So what I did was, I just did my fondant, you know, normal like this, form a round shape, then do a cone shape. You see, so that's how we actually arrived on this. So I'm just going to, you take your wire gauge. First of all, make sure you've done 2 sausage rolls, like using your fondant. You make sure they are even, you've checked, you've sized, and you take your wire gauge, carefully push through, while turning, while putting the turning so it doesn't burst out from another side, or, you know, pierce through another part, pierce out. Okay, so see it out. So you just roll while it's here. Roll. Try to just smoothen it. If you feel the part is big, too thick, you can still cut it out and, you know, pull it out. Trying to make a realistic bag, okay? So I'll just bend. Bend. So you see, they're the same. So what I'm going to do is, there are some bags you put like this, as in meaning you have to reduce the size of this. But now there are some that you put like, I'm going to do it like this, okay? Actually, I'm going to put it like this. Okay, so let me stay where I don't make a mistake. I'm just going to use my hand, press it, see it. And as well, I put little water before pressing, so it sticks when you press. See? So that's that. I'm going to do the other part, so when I'm done, I'll get back. Okay, now you see, this is what I'm trying to create, okay? I'm trying to replicate a cake of mine I've done before. You see, this is actually my cake. Now you see, so now I want to do this. I'm going to be using yellow. I don't really have white fondant left. I don't want to start making fresh fondant, okay? So I'm going to be doing this now, using yellow, because I'm going to paint it gold. Okay, when you're doing any job that you need to paint, even if you don't have white, okay, with any color you can paint Even if you have blue, you can use blue and paint. When you paint, it covers the initial color. Okay, all right. So I'm going to be doing this and this, those details. Okay, that's where you open from, you know. So I'm going to be doing that now. So that's where we have this. So before you gum, you just roll your fondant, you trim, then you place to be very sure. Okay, this is where you want it. Is it even or is it longer? You trim if you feel is too long or too thick. Now when you're sure of what you've gotten, okay, just let me reduce a little. So I think I've gotten what I want. So you just use your brush and water. I told you, you must have something you're following. Mostly, now a lot of times I bake and I just bake without even using any picture. There are times I want to replicate somebody's job, but I try to make a little difference, okay? Just put a little difference. So you see, gum, arrange, make sure it's well aligned, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to be creating the other one, the lock, okay? So I'm going to pull this. Remember, I'm going to paint this. I'm going to change the color to gold. Okay, so it all depends on what you're doing. The particular sample that was given to you to replicate by your client, okay? So just try and follow up and give exactly what's there. So if you're putting a difference, if you're maybe want to change something, let it not be so obvious, let it not change the pattern of what you were asked to do or deliver, okay? Look at the first one. Okay, so let me just straighten it a little. Okay, so as usual, there should not be much. So you stick. Okay, so that's that for this. We're going to be painting. Okay, you see, the one I'm actually following, the cake I'm actually trying to replicate, the format cake I did, trying to replicate. You see, there's a muffler here, okay? That one was white, decorated in animal skin, like leopard design. So I'm going to make use of blue, okay? And I'm going to still show you how to do it, like do your leopard skin design. And the purpose of this class, so why doing this muffler, okay? So this is just your normal blue fondant. Roll it thin as possible. See, as thin as possible, okay? Let it be so flexible. Okay, so this is going to be our muffler, okay? So I'll just take, I've not painted, remember I've not painted this, so I'm just going to, you see, so this is what I'm going to do. You just play with it as if it's your weak clothes. You see it? Okay, so I decided to just use water. If I'm sure of this, if I'm sure this is what I want, use water and cross this over. Okay, okay. So let's say this is what I want. And just print, you know, it doesn't have to be so straight and smooth. It's like your scarf. And just fold and drop. See? Okay. Okay. Okay, so now I want to show you how to do your leopard skin design. You can do it in any shade, any color, being blue, being brown, you know, but normally the leopard we normally know is brown color with black stripes, you know, or you can do some can be white, you know, with black. But now we're going to be doing blue, okay? So remember we have this blue color and vodka. Bring it this way. This is black and vodka, okay? Now let me just show you what we're trying to do. Look at what we're trying to do. You take your blue. There is no formation. Then you take your black. Make sure you're using a tiny brush for the black. I'm going to add to this black. It's not dark enough. Okay, this should be dark enough. Good. So this is what we are trying to do, okay? So just take be careful so that your fondant does not bleed. So I just take the black. Remember I told you there is no formation, no particular formation. Just do it the way you want. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do the whole body. Okay, so when I'm done, I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so you see, this is what we have. I'm done with the animal imprints. Okay, with color, edible color, brush and vodka. Okay, so now these are dusts, you know, edible dust, plaster dust and vodka. So I want to paint this yellow part. Maybe I told you I was going to paint it. Now you can use, if I had white, I would have used white, but I noticed I was not having white, so I decided to use yellow. Because I know I was going to cover it. But now I'm using blue or any color. So I'll just paint. And you notice I actually put that lines, those dots with my, I think you can also use your skewer, okay? As your stitching lines, okay? Good. Okay, so I'm just going to paint. When I'm done, I'll show you the film. Okay, so you see, our beautiful bag is ready. These are end results, okay? You see how beautiful it is. You see the gold has covered the yellow. You won't know that it's actually yellow fondant. So like I said, you can use any color as far as you're going to paint it, okay? All right, so that's that for our handbag. See? The back. That is beautiful. See? The side, the front, the side, the front. So these are end results. This is beautiful. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for signing in. Please and please and please remember to do your practicals, okay? If you don't practice, you won't even know where you're making mistakes, where you're getting it. So you have to practice so that you can forward your questions, okay? All right, do have a wonderful day.